MBS Tech Talk with R&D Lee. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another edition of MBS Tech Talk with me, R&D Lee, and my good friend Dylan Warren. Good day, Dill.
G'day, mate.
So we're here to talk about the brand new MBS Pro 97 Dylan Warren 2. So you see it right here. The graphic looks amazing. We're super duper excited about this thing coming out. It's by far my favorite board. And Dylan, overall impression. We're going to go through all the details, but I just want, in one word, 3 words, what do you think?
It is rad.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, talking through the details, the first thing that we wanted to go through is just talking about the deck and just getting a feel for the graphic. Just looks amazing. It's by far my favorite MBS graphic ever. And that's in large part thanks to Dylan and a few amazing artists. So, if you don't mind, just maybe take us through the graphic process and tell us how you came to something so awesome.
All right, so 2 of my really good friends did the graphic. The actual artwork is by my friend Aaron Lister, and the layout and set out and the font and the text is by my great friend and MBS Australia writer Jason Salopek. So the boys worked together and drew up the design through my ideas. So pretty much first sort of look, I really love how contrasty this is. This it's like a charcoal wood veneer, so it's a wood grain, the base of the board, and then we have the nice and contrasting white that go over the top. So it, like in photos that we've shot out in the wild, you can see this board everywhere. It's sick, super sick. Got the hot girl on the bottom. We've got the sun. It's a black, white, and red theme. So it all works together really well. On the top, I'm gonna do a trick jolt. Here we go. We've got the main sort of graphic here. So if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Black Sabbath fan, and my favorite song is called Children of the Grave, and this is what this graphic's based off. The song pretty much is about finding your way through hardship to get to happiness, and this is what the graphic is. It's about 2 kids who are finding their way, fighting demons through chaos, climbing over mountains. That's Mount Fuji, PS. Shout out to Markan, MBS Japan, to finding happiness. And it's kind of the story of mountain boarding and where we've come from, is overcoming challenges, persevering through hard times, and trying to spread the love of mountain boarding with the world. We've been trying to get a mountain board park built for a long time, and we've actually fighting through all the hardships, overcoming all the boundaries. We're finally getting 2 mountain board parks built here in Australia. So that's kind of what the whole the message of the board is, that you too can go out there and overcome challenges, and you can actually be the person who helps bring mountain boarding to the world. Don't wait for someone else. You can actually make the change. So be the change you want to see in the world.
Yep.
So,
and I love the fact that graphic that's Dylan's graphic, because is so much what he's about, and that's one thing that we love about him as a friend and as a writer, is just he makes the change. He gets out there and just kind of does stuff. So it's just, I think it represents you perfectly.
And a couple other cool little bits is like there's Flinders Street Station, which is a famous sort of landmark in Melbourne, and this is Mount Fuji, of course, and we've got like a little boomerang here that says Australia through the skull face. We've got a scorpion because I'm a Scorpio, and a couple other cool bits like a globe because I like traveling a lot, and there's a wolf in it from our last board we did. We had the big wolf graphic, and there's a few other cool little bits and pieces. So yeah, I guess we can move on to the grip tape, Joel.
Yeah, go for it.
So Jason and I, who did the graphic, Jason Salopek, we are starting a mountain board grip tape company called Passengers, and this is our first sheet of grip coming out on this brand new board. So this is actually the announcement that we are starting this mountain board company. So the Passengers is pretty much, you guys are all coming along for the ride on this journey, and this is actually a Nordic symbol for the path. So it's all a bit symbolic, but a bit metaphoric. But yeah, super hyped on this grip tape. We'll be coming out with a couple of different colorways, This is a 36 grit, so it's super coarse. It's super rough when you touch it. A big complaint I had, or a big thing I don't like about mountain boarding is being loose in your binding. So I don't like any play when it comes to my binding. So I have my bindings very narrow, and I obviously like wearing heel straps because I want to be as attached to my board as possible. So when you're doing ollies, it's extremely responsive and snappy, and when you're tweaking grabs. So the grip tape actually takes up a lot of any other little bits of slack, and this stuff is just super coarse, so you're fully locked into your board, so you can really tweak those grabs.
Well put. Very good.
I got so.
Yeah. So from there, we're talking bindings. The same as before. The F5 has just been an incredible binding. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. Originally, a few years ago, we got the material. We did some tweaks to the material on the straps, and ever since we did that, it's been like 3 years without a single broken strap on the Gen 2. You'll see a little kind of 2 on the ladder straps. They're super duper comfortable, highly adjustable. We actually have the tech talk on the MBS F5, so if you want to check that, that'll be down in the description below. So if you want to see all the details of the course adjustment and all that type of stuff, welcome to do that. But yeah.
I just wanted to say too on these F5 bindings, the thing I really like about them, I teach thousands of kids how to mountain board, and the best thing is if kids have small feet or you wear really narrow shoes, you can adjust this top binding to make it go even lower, so you can really get your foot in there nice and tight. So that's a huge highlight for these bindings.
Yeah, super adjustable, super comfortable. Yeah, and good precision. So that's good. Going from there, probably the next biggest thing on the board that I would say is the trucks. We're releasing a brand new metal Matrix 2 truck. So basically, it's the Matrix 2, which everybody knows and loves, but it has an actual aluminum, depending on where you live, base plate like the old Matrix did, because basically you guys asked for it, so we're giving it to you. It's stronger. It's just it's better. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're gonna do another tech talk just on the trucks too.
Yeah, we'll get into all the there's a lot of details on this, but we don't want to steal time from Dylan's tech talk. So that's basically the trucks. They are coming with oranges. That's probably one thing to say real quick. They are coming with the oranges, and now the Matrix 2s have 3 hardnesses for the shock block. So you can go yellow for the soft, orange for the medium, red for the hard. There's not a range that you can't get to for those. So orange, nice and medium, and you're saying that's basically what you like, right?
Yeah, so I used to ride with super tight trucks. In the last couple of years, I've definitely loosened them off a lot. I love to be able to carve and turn. And I found the oranges are perfect because when I'm going fast and doing big jumps, the urethane is it really just holds you on your board. You don't get the speed wobbles, but you can still dip it in and carve super tight. And with the trucks coming in a bit shorter, it actually lifts you off the ground a little bit, so you can actually dip into turns a lot more sharper too, which is super cool.
Yeah, we forgot to actually mention that on the deck. That's one, we've made a few small tweaks that we actually didn't talk about, but the one of those is the fact that we've moved the truck holes in just slightly. Not something that you really notice by looking at it, but enough to one thing was to raise the board up a little bit, because Dylan wants to bottom out as little as possible. He wants a nice stiff poppy deck, and he just doesn't want to bottom out. So we've done that to get a little extra height. We've added in some actual 6mm rubber risers, which actually give more precision and more grip between the truck and the deck, so there's just no slop in there, and also raises the deck up a little bit more. So those are a few things. And
with the wheels being closer in towards your feet too, I've really noticed that when you're doing ollies and you're trying to get a really good pop and snap, because the wheels are a bit closer together, you can really pull your foot up higher. And same with doing manuals and nose manuals, it's a lot easier to actually get your wheels off the ground. You'll definitely notice the difference from a standard wheelbase to a little bit narrower one, how much more maneuverable and precise you can snap your board.
Yeah, for sure. And while we're kind of on that, talking about stiffness and pop, should I touch on just the layup as well?
Yeah, let's talk the layup.
Yeah. So layup on this board, we've made a few tweaks
It's a
to it.
ride.
A light ride. We've made a few tweaks that I think make a big difference. So basically, on the old graphic, this graphic pops, we kind of talked about that. But on the old ones, we had PBT graphics. And on this one, I've gone away from the PBT because basically what I was finding is the PBT makes a graphic look good, but it doesn't do anything for stiffness. It doesn't do anything for pop or strength.
So what's the PBT for people who don't know what that is?
Yeah, actually, I can even we got some
older graphics. We had a bit of PBT.
Right here. Bam, something like that. That's these kind of sheets right here. Actually, here's one.
It's a different material on top of the deck.
Yeah. So it's actually like, this is an example of a graphic layer, you know, for Dylan's last one. If you look, you can kind of see, it's basically just a layer of plastic with a kind of a fiber backing so it bonds well to the deck. It's polybutyl terephthalate, if anybody wants to know why it's actually called
Say
PBT.
that 3 times fast.
Exactly. So basically, it's great because it's a sublimated graphic, which means the graphics kind of get down underneath the layer and it's protected. But really, what's not great, so it's good for like great looking graphics and kind of keeping them protected, but like I said, it doesn't do anything for stiffness, nothing for strength, and nothing for pop. So on Dylan's one, and since Dylan comes from a skate background, I thought this was really fitting, is we've gone back to actually do our graphics directly onto Canadian maple, hard rock Canadian maple base layer and top layer. So what that means is we've been able to put more maple, more fiberglass into this board to make it even stiffer, and got rid of the PBT, and so the weight's the same, but you end up with a better deck. So that's probably the biggest difference in the deck, is just more of the stuff that matters, fiberglass maple, less of just the graphic stuff.
Yeah, and if you've been running the DW1, the first board we did, you definitely can notice the difference between this deck and the older deck in how responsive and how much more snappier it is.
Yeah,
it's super cool to feel that.
It's popping super good. So that covers those guys. I mean, that's the bulk of the technical stuff on it. We should probably talk about the wheels real quick because that's the only thing that we haven't talked about. One difference is actually on this model we've come out and put the Rockstar 2s on it. So that's a conversation that we had, and we felt that that's just the best. That represents Dylan's riding the best because they're super strong. They're really stiff, and they just don't break, and they're a little bit lighter, all things that Dylan cares about. And actually, for you guys, buying a complete board, they're less expensive. So, you know, we don't always kind of focus on price, but we do want to get, one of our goals is to get as many people into mountain boarding as possible. And if this board is $100 cheaper than the last one, for some people that actually matters. So, you know, that was a decision we made between us that we're really happy with. And anything you want to say on the hubs?
Yeah, they just look super sick, all blacked out. I've been riding these for about a year now and love them. I've literally treat them like crap, and they're fine. So that's really important to me. And the other thing I wanted to say too, these boards come out with T1 tires. I've always loved these tires, huge fan of them. Just great all around tires. Not too grippy, that you can't slide it, and I actually, side note, I use the roadies tires when I ride street stuff, and then because I'm doing a lot of dirt stuff at the moment with the new mountain board track here in Australia, I swap over to these. So I use them both, but these you can use all the time, all year round. You can use them in the street, in the skate park. Great tire. And yeah, that's about it really.
So you pretty much, what you see is what you get. Dang. And just once again, to kind of recap, it looks amazing. Obviously, that's subjective, but it's my favorite graphic, and I just wanted to get that out. So yeah,
it pops in like we've been shooting photos coming into this new release, and this board just stands out in all photos because it's so contrasty and just looks super sick.
Yeah, I know a graphic shouldn't matter, but we all know.
Yeah, definitely.
It does.
Yeah, I want you kids to go grind this graphic off, PS. Go board sides and rails and get rid of this thing. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, for sure. So overall, thank you so much. Thanks, Dylan, for coming in and sharing that time with me. And it's always good to see you. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you subscribe and engage. If you guys have any questions, anything that we didn't cover in the video, leave a comment down below. We'll get back to you. We love interacting with you guys. Yeah, anything you want to say to close out?
Thanks for supporting me, guys. It really does. When you buy a pro model mountain board, you actually are supporting the riders, so that's really important. It helps us, go and do cool new videos, photo shoots, take trips. Every time you buy a pro model mountain board, it really does help the rider. So thanks for your support, guys. I love this so much, and I'm glad you guys get to experience this too. So,
All right.
yeah.
Next time, stay tuned for all more tech talks on all the things having to do with MBS and Dylan Warren and all the good stuff. We'll see you next time.